Yo, chat, and got a minute. Let me just do this really quick. Welcome to the Get to Know Spotlight of the week. We're here with the MzLiv. Amazing variety streamer. Does so many beautiful games. If you don't know already, you should definitely check it out. She's obviously a member of a Team Ahamkara. That's all this podcast is all about. So you can, guys, get to know her a little bit, okay? If you have your questions, then you can just do !Q and tell you what to do, how to ask those questions in chat. Well, going forward, I do want to introduce MzLiv a little bit. So she's variety streamer. She does some different games. She also does Destiny a little bit. We're not going to talk about that because she's more into the different games. She does a lot of Assassin's Creed, which is a major fan of it. I am a major fan of Assassin's Creed games. She recently been playing the Horizon Zero Dawn. Another game I really share love to it. I think they've done a fantastic job. But hey, it's not about the games. It's about MzLiv in there. So hope you guys are going to enjoy it. If you have some questions, as I said, !Q if you do want to answer anything. So first question from me, obviously, it's always a standard one. Liv, what is your name and where you are from? I know answer to that, but please share with our amazing Team Ahamkara community what you do for the living, if you have any hobbies, and again, what is your name?
Well, my name is Liv. My online name is MzLiv, because my name is Liv. I feel like that's quite self-explanatory. I work for a big aerospace manufacturer, specifically in landing gear for commercial aircraft. What were the other parts of the question? I forgot.
Oh my!
There was
Wow,
many
that
questions in this question. It went really well.
It really was. It's like, wow, huge achievements. I don't know you worked there. I mean, I kind of knew, but I didn't. I mean, I knew a little bit of a detail, but wow, that's impressive. So, what was more into it? It was hobbies. Any hobbies?
Hobbies.
Hobbies,
Well,
yes, hobbies.
Most recently I've been working on coding things. I've always loved to make stuff. I gave away little Deadpool heads on my stream. I build drones about this size. I'm hoping I get my arms in the camera.
Wow!
That I have.
Wow!
But obviously
That's
playing video
amazing.
games. I like going walking places with pretty views. That's why I'm a sucker for a game with a pretty view. It's like walking without the effort.
You're not a sucker. I mean, right, I might not be as chatty as I want to be, like in every stream, but I'm trying to have as many streams open as possible and like as many as possible. And I'm always trying to, to switch in between the tabs. So it can't, if it makes sense. I don't know if it does, but I'm always seeing you stream, and your energy, like, it seems to fill up your stream. You basically, you're really good, and I appreciate you for it. So another question I want to ask, basically, I don't know if it was on the list or not, but I will ask it anyway. What gets you into streaming? Why are you doing it? And if any other streamer inspired you to do it?
I started streaming because I love the community that people build. And I wanted to build that for myself, have people to interact with. I play a lot of single player games, and the downside for me of those type of games was always you play them by yourself. And streaming allows me to play the wonderful single player games that I absolutely love, like Horizon Zero Dawn, but also not be by myself and have people to interact to. I've had in my title since the beginning of coronavirus, #StaySocial. I've been asked about it several times.
Yes.
And the reason that I put it there was partly because of others and the idea that it's important to stay social and talk to people and not lose the connection, even if we can't physically connect with people in person at the moment.
Absolutely.
That connection to people is so important, and it's what I try and build in my stream. It's the reason that I do it. And streamers that did that, what inspired me, lots of different people, but always the people that had really good communities.
Any particular streamer? No?
The first person I watched on Twitch was Grenada Jake, and the way he
Oh,
interacted,
yes.
and it was that.
He's such a good dude, isn't he?
He's a really good dude. But he was a
He's-
really big streamer. He was a really good dude. But I spent quite a lot of time in James' work and Bonge's and that group of like the Destiny Sherpas initially chat, and the communities that they built also inspired me. So
There's so many people out there who willing to actually, you know, go that extra step forward and help the other people with what the games doesn't matter what they are. There's just so many people invested in the communities trying to help out. It's amazing. It's really amazing. And with like the variety content, I've tried to do that for quite a while. I know it's difficult, but can you tell us a little bit more of what you like to play? Like what kind of games, you know, keep you going?
Usually the kind of game will be action games, be that action RPGs, adventures, shooters. I've always loved RPGs, the ones with the really good stories, the ones that get you engaged. The Mass Effect trilogy is absolutely brilliant. You feel like you have an effect on the world, which invests you in the story. But then things like Assassin's Creed, where it's not that you have an effect on the stories, but you're living this incredible story that is spreads over several games. But games like Halo, where you play with friends, Destiny, where you play with friends. Like to me, there's these kind of three genres that I play in. Those play with friends, fun action shooters, looter shooters, play for the story, Horizon Zero Dawn, Mass Effect. But I'll often be not on stream, but I'll often play things like Ori and the Blind Forest. There's a game called Limbo, but they're kind of almost like platformers that can be dark or insightful, and
But
I
are
play
they
them to
really
relax.
interesting, right? They're really interesting, and you enjoying the story. That's the whole. I guess that's the whole goal of it. I don't know. But
Well, yes,
with like Assassin's Creed, I'm gonna mention this one because I mean, you probably know I'm a huge fan of Assassin's Creed. I am.
well, I'll tell you where I've got up to. I've got up to the middle of Assassin's Creed 3. I have played Assassin's Creed 4 and Rogue. Anything past that, I have no idea. So we'll start there. That's where. Oh, Assassin's Creed 3.
So let me tell you a little bit something about Assassin's Creed. Number 3, you playing as a Connor, right?
I am playing as Connor at the moment.
Yeah. So
I'm only halfway through. I have got to adult Connor. I'm really worried this is going to be a spoiler.
No, we're not gonna do any spoilers in there. But Assassin's Creed 3 had such a big impact on me. I think this is the best Assassin's Creed game that ever did. Probably some people will disagree because you can't please everyone. Obviously.
Everybody's going to disagree.
Yeah. But I think number 3 is the sweet spot for the Assassin's Creed. There's obviously Odyssey, which is a newer, you know, this smexy
Not played
graphics on PC. I've got it. I haven't played it yet. I am going to do it. I'm gonna put the Destiny aside, ditch it, whatever, and I'm gonna play Assassin's Creed because why not? And I do love zombie games, so we're gonna do that. Do you like any zombie games? No?
Zombie games? I've never really been a big fan.
Like I'm always trying. This is a little bit of cheeky of me. I do apologize. I do apologize for it. I'm always trying to go into streamers' channel and when they playing horror games in particular, I was trying to scare them a little bit because I think it's funny.
It's fair.
I think it's funny, but that's just me. There is a question. There is a question for the Gambit etiquette in chat.
I've seen a couple of questions.
Oh yeah, there's plenty. I can see them. Sola, actually, let's start from Sola. Right, what game got you into video games? That is a really good question. Really good question.
I have thought about this, and I've talked about it on stream a few times. There's 2 games. I can't put it down to just one. The thing that made me want to play video games was Halo Reach. I've got a lot of cousins in Ireland, and when we go over there, a couple of them had an Xbox 360, and they introduced me to Halo Reach, the campaign, the multiplayer, everything, and I loved it. Eventually, I got my own Xbox 360, and I was bought Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and I played the absolute crap out of that game because I had no other games.
Oh,
And
yes.
it kind of went from there. I got the Mass Effect trilogy. I played all the Halo games. It went on, and I never stopped.
It's amazing, right? I mean, there's so many games outside of the Destiny that a lot of people don't realize. So many good games.
Reach is an amazing Halo game. I have a soft spot for it because it's the first one I played. But
I think the Halo games are really good. So, Chicken from the Jurassic, I believe I'm reading this right. Sorry, my screen's a little bit small. Liv, are you scared of snakes? And if you do, or if you are, why?
not as far as I'm aware. I've come in the UK. The snakes are very tame affairs, and they're little like grass snakes, so that kind of thing. But I'm not sure. I've never been faced with a scary snake, so no. Other than like school, I'd always pick them up if there was okay. Well, I remember in primary school there was somebody came in with like hawks and snakes and all kinds of things, and I loved it. So I'm gonna say no. I'm not scared of snakes.
I think snakes are really cool. I'm scared of it. I am sorry. But I think like when you touch the skin, I don't know if you ever tried it, but when you touch the skin, it's just wow. It's just another feeling, you know, out of this world.
Yeah.
It feels amazing. I think everyone should do it. Everyone should do it, definitely. What are your thoughts on it, Liv? Would you dare to touch it?
Yeah, I've had like them dangled around my neck and all kinds of things.
Wow.
As like a very small child. I thought it was great, but
What about
maybe that says
spiders?
something about me.
What about spiders?
I'm not scared of them. I'll go and pick them up and stick them out the window, but I'll usually use glass. Glass, piece of paper, out the window.
Piece of paper,
I used to live
yeah.
really near a shop, and there's always that feeling in the back of your mind is like, has this one's crawled out of a banana from another country and it's really poisonous? So
It's like
don't
so
like
right.
to take too many chances.
There's so many coming in, right, from the outside of the UK. So many coming in into the country from the outside. You don't know. Like these days, you honestly don't know if you should be, you know, cautious touching it or not. It's just wow. It's weird. You realize, and I think at that part, you're realizing how big of the world it is, right? Bye. Hey,
But I don't live in Australia or anything, so that usually they won't murder me.
Yeah, Australia. I would love to go in there. The only reason it would have stopped me is all the wild
Everything
animals.
wants to eat you.
Yes, absolutely. I love the country. I would go in there. I would live my life, but I'm too afraid of, you know, other things, other creatures crawling in there. And I've seen some pictures. You know, my friends went over.
Oh yeah.
My friends went over for the holiday and took some pictures, and there was like one girl from my work went in there, and she said she went into the forest. She turned around and the family were shouting at her. She's had a massive, gigantic spider on the back, and told her not to move. Imagine that.
That sounds terrifying.
And I've seen it, right, I saw the pictures because I took the pictures. I've seen it and I was like, yeah, I'm not going there, sorry. I mean, I can't do it. Crazy. Right? We got a question in there from Gambit, and that is about the game I really like. Obviously, we know what it's all about. Horizon Zero Dawn. I think it's amazing.
I've been sworn off of all spoilers, unfortunately.
Well,
Much as I'd love to chat about it.
Right. So, answer me this before we're gonna go into the questions because I see them in chat. Have you ever seen anything to do with the Horizon Zero Dawn before you tried playing the PC game?
I had seen a little bit. I didn't know anything about the story of the game. I'd seen a little bit of the behind the scenes stuff and how the game was built and mechanics and that type of thing. But the story I knew nothing about other than that you saw Aloy as a child and you saw Aloy as an adult, and that was all I knew.
And you haven't finished the game yet.
I just finished it earlier.
You just finished it.
Like an hour and a half ago.
Right, so chat, I don't want to give you any spoilers, but I've played it. I finished it on the PlayStation 4.
Oh, it's
amazing. When it was out. So I don't want to do this the podcast as a review of the game, but I just want GLiv to answer this. How good of experience it was to play this game, and what would you rank at end of a game, like mission and the final cutscene in the game? Would you give it a 10, or would you give it less?
The story was amazing. I always hate giving games a 10 because there's always something that you can do better.
Yeah.
If you give a game a 10, you say that there's no room for improvement. There always is. So you'll never see me ever give anything like a 10, but it's as good as I think it could have been. It was absolutely amazing. I had some minor gripes about climbing and crashes, but the story was incredible. There are few games that would beat it on the story.
It's great. I mean, I wish that game would be more involving in terms of open world. As me, a personal, just a personal opinion. But overall, as a solo player, because it's more of a solo play game, right? I think it's outstanding.
Yeah,
absolutely outstanding. The world is beautiful, filled of so many beautiful creatures, machines, and everything. The way they've done it, I haven't tried the PC version. I think I'm gonna do it because I was speaking to my mate. Should I actually get this on the PlayStation? On the PC, and pay so much money considering I've already done it all, on the PlayStation. And it's a tough choice, but I think the game is worth it. And
it looks so beautiful on PC.
What are you saying?
On PS, but...
What are you saying?
Sorry?
I'm just saying. What are you saying about the game? I think it's definitely worth it getting on Steam.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to get that feel. Should I go and buy it? Basically, sorry.
You've got a system that you'll be able to push it as well. It'll look absolutely incredible. My 1070 was struggling.
Oh, my PC will definitely struggle. Trust me. Trust me there. 100%. It struggles on Destiny right now. But I'm going to hit you up after the stream with this. So we got a question from the first one is what we did. Right, so we did the chicken. Chicken, what a name. I love you. Thank you for tuning into this.
Jurassic.
Yeah, thank you for tuning into this podcast. Appreciate that. And this is you guys
trying to show me where all of the power cells are. We finally succeeded, and then we immediately raided here.
Oh yeah, definitely. Did you manage to get your armor?
I will be getting it first thing tomorrow morning. Well, tomorrow afternoon. I usually don't get on in the morning.
Right, you'll see how much of a OP armor that is. It's mark my words. It is OP.
I'm looking forward to it.
It's OP. I know because I had it, and I'm not gonna put any spoilers in there. That is the last thing I'm gonna say. It's OP. Okay. Right, so Gambit. Sorry, we get into your question a little bit late. Favorite machine in the Horizon Zero Dawn?
If I could ride it, Stormbird. I just want to be able to ride the Stormbird, and then I will be so happy.
Why?
If I could ride it.
Why I'm not surprised? Why? Just why I'm not surprised. This is the perfect answer. Perfect answer. And there's another one, I guess. Another one from the chicken. The Jurassic. Amazing name. have you ever experienced any kind of mental health issues? This is the big one, guys. This is the big question.
Yes, I have done like from through teenage years and occasionally since. I've been suffered from anxiety and panic attacks. Some things went on growing up, which we will not be talking about. Unfortunately, I'm not quite an open book, but
That's fine. That's fine.
the fallout of that is I felt like I almost became a new person when I was a teenager. I relearned what the world should be like from my own perspective, and it was an amazing awakening of being able to make the decisions of what is right and what is wrong from my own opinion. I find is really important to me. It's something that I don't think don't wish it on anybody, but I value it a lot personally. I think is the best way to say it. But I have had the anxiety still sticks with me, and I haven't had a panic attack in years now, which is a great relief because they are some of the most terrifying things you'll ever find. I've always found meditation helps, like being able to control your breathing, being able to control yourself, and it's something that I would recommend to anybody. Maybe not meditation per se. I know some people don't like the how do I mean? Don't like the spirituality of it. But just being able to control your breathing, be able to feel how you are inside, and I find really important to me, and it's something that I do. I have to do exercises for my shoulder because I've got an old injury that's almost fixed. It's about as close as I think it's going to get to try and keep that in check. But I'm always happy to listen to people that are having a rough time, and the way I see it is that you can shout at me, you can laugh at me, you can cry at me. I don't mind whatever that person needs, because I've had people in the past do the same for me. But yeah, in short, I have in the past, and I think it's only natural. Talking about it is helpful.
Definitely, I think definitely is natural. I think everyone might, if you didn't have the issues in the past, then you're probably lying to yourself, unless you're that perfect human being. I mean, you never know, right?
No such thing.
Not exactly. I don't think there's such a thing. I think we all going through something, and talking about mental issues is really important, especially like you're a streamer. But the only thing I'm having issues with is people like not being, not being actually how you call this?
Understanding?
Not maybe not no not understanding, but not having a oh my god, I've run out of words, seriously.
Oh, this happened to me at work. I went back to work last week, and I had this week off. A bit awkward, but
no. So basically, what I'm trying to say is there's basically there's a lot of viewers coming into your stream, and they trying to talk to you about it, right? And even that you haven't got, there you go, a degree in this, right? How to deal with mental health. And I know a lot of streamers giving a really bad advice to this. I think it's nice to listen to your viewers, support them with with what they're going through. I think it's really important. We're going through the same thing ourselves, right? But I think it's bad to give them a professional advice, if you know what I'm saying. A professional advice, which means you clearly you're not haven't been gone through this process to teach those people. I'm sorry, I'm saying those people. You basically like us. Any viewer, like if you tune into the stream, if you listen to it, if you listen to the podcast, the audio version, don't be offended saying like that I said it by us, but by you. It's just what I'm trying to say is, we all going through things. We all, the life happens, right? Real life happens. We all going through some certain things that we don't really wish to go through. It's life is tough, and a lot of streamers are not educated enough to give an advice. That's what I'm trying to say.
I
And-
definitely couldn't. I'm not educated. I'm happy to listen. I'm happy to point people in the direction
Yes.
that I think will help them towards somebody that knows more than me usually.
And that is more than anyone, could hope for. And, tune into your stream. I just want to stress this as much as possible, being educated and pointing someone in the wrong direction, it'll be harmful to them. And I think as a content creators, we need to educate ourselves a little bit more. We can't give a professional advice, but it's nice to help people. It's always nice to help people, always nice to listen to the problems. Problems are really family with us. Because most of the time we go for the same stuff, right? I don't know if you agree or disagree.
I think everybody's unique, but everybody can understand to an extent about and can empathize with the other person.
I think we have touched on this subject more than enough. But yeah, you're absolutely
So much
right.
for a light-hearted podcast.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Wow, so many questions. Right, let me just try to find the ones we missed. There's one there. Can live, do, or attempt American accent. That is from Havoc.
Howdy, Havoc. That's the best I got. I'm so bad at accents. I can kind of parrot back. If somebody says something to us, I can parrot back roughly something the same kind of accent, but I can't make them up off the spot.
Amazing.
Well,
I think it was amazing.
You don't know what to do.
I think it was amazing. I think she's doing it. Wow, such a great job, right? So let's just talk a little bit about your streaming career. Do you have any goals set? Like, the ones you wanna reach, and if you do, if you're close, reaching any of them, if it's a Twitter or Twitch, doesn't matter really, any.
Well, I just hit a goal earlier in the week. I hit 500 follows on Twitch.
Yes.
Which is awesome.
Awesome,
But-
indeed.
And I finally found a way to celebrate. We were discussing earlier things for channel points rewards, but we were talking about a funny hat stream. And a funny hat stream with Jerry, who's the giraffe that lives on my headset, has funny hats too. So I think I'm gonna buy some felt in various different colors and make Jerry some hats. And buy some funny hats of my own, and we will do a funny hat stream. And that will be my celebration of 500 follows.
Hell yeah. Right, can you elaborate a little bit more on the crazy giraffe sitting on your headset?
On the crazy giraffe? So
Yeah.
This is Jerry. Jerry the giraffe. He was bought for me by a friend of my mother's when she went traveling. I'm trying to remember where to, but I was like 6 years old when he was bought for me, and I don't remember where she went. She travels all over the world doing absolutely incredible photography. I think it was somewhere in Africa. I could be wrong. Don't kill me if I'm wrong.
It's fine, it's fine.
And he came back to me, and he lived on my bookshelf for ages and ages and ages. And then he lived on my chair. He used to live here. And then one day, Werther's decided he was going to put him on my headset, and he never really left. And he's now become a friend of the stream. And Werther's named him Jerry with a G. Jerry with a G, Jerry the giraffe. I need to make him an emote eventually.
I think it's great. Like every single time I'm tuning into your stream and I'm watching you, I'm always wondering, what is the thing? I mean, I know what it is, right? Sitting on your headset, but like, what does it really means to you? Like, what does it do? Why is it there? So yeah.
But He's always kind of. I've always loved soft toys and teddies, and I have this giant bear. I'm not kidding. He's like that size.
Wow.
He's
That's
called
big.
Ted.
That's big.
I had to
That's
leave
really
him back
big.
at my flat in Bristol, unfortunately. But he was given to me by one of my aunts and uncles in Ireland. And when I must have been like 4, 5 or something. And we flew him back on the plane. And it was like I was sitting with him on the plane on the way home. But he's a teddy bear that I can have with me when I'm at my desk. I've definitely worn him to work meetings, and that's created some very funny conversations. I've not yet worn him to an important work meeting though. Yet. It's gonna happen at some point.
That is so. No, seriously, that's so cool. Like right? Honestly, you're the only streamer I'm going to, and yeah, it's gonna. I'm not gonna say a toy, because it annoys me, right, guys? If you're gonna, if you ever gonna comment on anyone's, yeah, I think you know where I'm going with this,
Well,
right?
I do know where you're going. Your toy collection, your
Yeah,
statue
your
collection
toy.
is
Worth
absolutely
it.
amazing.
Worth it. If you're watching this, if you're gonna call, collectible a toy, I'll fucking have you. It's not a toy, okay? It's a collectible. It's a figurine. You gotta respect it. It's just gotta be done. Sorry, I had to say this. It is not a
I've
toy.
got my fair amount of statues and collectibles and stuffed animals. There we go. Stuffed animals.
Yes, yes, but it's not a toy. Just just wanted to stress this enough. Right, more questions. I don't know
Lots
if
of
you're
questions. I'm loving the number of questions.
I don't know if you're gonna like this one, but we're gonna ask it anyway because it's in the chat, and it would be rude not to ask it. If you don't want to answer it, then you don't have to. We can just skip. But Solar Riot is asking, Liv, what is your favorite? Yeah, what is your favorite Destiny 2 raid? You don't have to elaborate on this.
It
You
is
can just
not
say
King's Fall.
it is not.
Although King's Fall was the first raid I ever did, so I do have and it's ironically I met Today TW on LFG and he shepherded me through it, and I did it with a friend of mine called Smidgebiff, who's an IRL friend from back home. And
Nice.
then I bumped into Today TW like a year later in James Works chat. Small world, Destiny.
Yes.
But my favorite raid, I loved Vault of Glass. I went back long before Age of Triumph and that stuff in D1 and I used to do all of the raids every week. In a clan, and I was in a clan called Dropping Nuts on Butts. Nuts in Butts, sorry.
What a name!
With a name
Wow.
called Basin Shadows, and everybody thought I was like a 10-year-old boy.
That's crazy. Some names are unreal, right?
Yep.
Unreal.
I'm not sure how it didn't get reported or banned, but Dropping Nuts in Butts was my clan before Rogue 9.
It probably
I'm not proud of it.
Probably would get reported right now, saying what's happening
I don't
in the
think it's
world,
active anymore.
and yeah, a lot of things are getting
I
reported
think
right
there
now.
was a question earlier though that was missed.
Let me
In answer to the
see.
question, tie between Vault of Glass and Wrath of the Machine.
Mm-hmm.
Apologies, I realised I never actually answered the question. But I did notice there was a question earlier, another one from Chicken about Horizon Zero Dawn. Did I have any negative thoughts or negative things to say about Horizon Zero Dawn?
Oh, that's the question after it. That's okay. Yeah, I'm just going one by one. That's fine.
Oh, it was above. I think he re-asked. My apologies.
Yeah, it's fine.
I didn't want it to get missed because Chicken has been so helpful in.
Oh, I'm seeing this one. I'm seeing this one, but like on my screen, literally, this is like just under the Solar Riot question about the raid. It might be different for us, depending, I think, on how the chat works. So, boys, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. We covered them both, right?
Indeed, we did.
Yes.
But do I have any negative? I have some negative thoughts about the PC port. The obvious performance issues and artifacting and frame rate stutters and that kind of thing. But hopefully in time it will be fixed. The only other thing that I found really frustrating is I'm so used to in Assassin's Creed being able to climb almost everything. And there were so little things that you could climb. I wanted to climb it all. I wanted to make my own way. But that was the only thing I found really frustrating. Oh, and I want to be able to override and ride, like mount all of the machines.
Oh yeah,
Who doesn't
yeah,
want to be
yeah.
on a massive
Dream
flying
on,
Stormbird?
dream on.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Dream on indeed.
I mean, I'm not giving you any spoilers, okay? So I'm just gonna shut up. But I think your prayers will be answered. Just play more, okay? So just a little bit,
Okay.
just a tip from me. And
I'm
I
going to
think
be playing more. I tomorrow afternoon I will be starting the
Horizon Zero
Frozen
Dawn.
Wilds DLC. I was
Oh,
the name. I was going to say.
that's the one I've never done, you know. So yeah.
Oh, I've no idea, but apparently the monsters are really challenging. So we'll have some struggles, I'm sure.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine. I'm sure you'll be fine. There's a really interesting question from, I can't even see this name. Right. Let me just zoom in. Sorry, chat. Zen, Dom,
Zern, yeah.
yeah.
Sounds
So, there it is. This is actually the question I want to know the answer to as well, because I think it's really cool. Thank you for bringing this up, in the chat, and asking about it. I think it's really cool. What got you into aerospace engineering, and did you find any difficult area of study? Any words of advice for women going into STEAM?
Well, I'll answer the first bit first. I've always loved making things from like a really young age. When I was like 4 or 5, I was given like little electronic circuits with breadboards and light bulbs and that kind of thing. And then I was like taught to make paper airplanes, and it continued from there through to like building drones. And I figured from when I was a teenager that I wanted to do engineering. I spent a summer working in manufacturing for Formula One parts, which I valued so much, and work experience, I cannot stress how important it is. I got it by simply calling up all of the engineering companies in the area, and they said sure. And I ended up getting paid for it, and I stayed for the whole summer making Formula One parts. I got to sort of wind tunnel facilities, the teams, and that kind of thing. And it was an amazing insight, and I'm glad it was a manufacturing role. It's not something that I would want to go into full time. I find, although the manufacturing, understanding how the machine works and how to get the finish and desired tolerance that you need is interesting. I think doing it over and over and over again for the rest of my life might drive me insane. So I'm glad it's not an area that I'm going into, but I'm also very glad I did it, because I understand how things are made physically in real life. And I find, and they have definitely found there, that a lot of engineering students and people that work in engineering don't seem to have any concept of how things are actually made in real life. They make the absolute perfect design, but if there's no way of manufacturing it, I think there's a bit of a design flaw. But that's, I guess, a piece of advice generally for getting into engineering. Understand how things are made. Make things of your own. Do work experience making things. Anything you can. Just build stuff, design stuff, see if it works. Break it, see how far you can push it. But for women specifically, don't be afraid. Toys, even from a very young age, are very sexist. There's a brilliant sketch by Russell Howard that he does talking about computers. One is for a boy and one is for a girl. And the one for the girl has, I think it's something like 10 less functions than the one for a boy. Now think about what that says about two young girls, about how smart they are and how intelligent they are, and about technical subjects. And don't fall into that trap. Girls are just as capable as boys. Naturally, everybody thinks a little bit differently. I think much more logically than I guess most women, but that those differences are important. Thinking in a different way, particularly in engineering, that's in some ways such a creative subject, is having different ways of thinking is how you come to the best solution. If you don't have different types of people from different backgrounds, people, men, women, anything else, it's so important. And don't be put off. The profession is changing, and there was, every year my work puts on a women in engineering event on Women in Engineering Day, and there's usually talk of, there's always a presentation about what it was like many years ago by the women that have been in engineering a long time. And I'm so glad that I have not had that experience. I haven't been in a meeting and been assumed that I'm a secretary. I've been trusted, and the way my colleagues see me is based on my performance. It's not based on my gender. And pushing through, doing those technology subjects in school, and following, if you find it interesting, trying it out. And don't be afraid to be a girl.
This is amazing. Liv, thank you. Thank you for sharing that bit of a
It's something
story.
I'm very passionate about, and I'm very glad the question came up.
No, this is really amazing. I don't think anyone should be afraid, reaching the heights. No matter the gender, I don't think girls, you should be afraid. Sky's the limit. As Liv said, go for it. Literally just go for it. There's another question from the chicken in the chat. What do you think about the characters' dead faces when they talk in Horizon? How they rarely show emotions with the body or the face, but always have a, angry or happy voice tone? Because I always find it weird and makes them feel robotic.
I guess I don't really notice it. I find what they say, and I'm listening. I never have subtitles on in games. I find if I'm reading, I don't get enthralled in the story so much. But I'm listening so much to the voice, and the visuals are not, when it's a dialogue scene, I don't know, are not as important to me. So it didn't really bother me at all.
That's fair. That is fair. Right, that means we pretty much, right, tackled the questions we had in the chat, and that means I can follow up with my list. You can follow up with my list, which is fine. Guys, make sure you're gonna pop those questions in chat. We still have a little bit more time. I'm never expecting to have everything, on my list answered, but I will always try to get them, most out of it. So always asking those type of questions, because I think they're kind of important to those people who always start on Twitch, and they're basically new to the platform. They're probably not even watching the podcast because they haven't got a clue how everything works. But the question is basically, right, so what advice would you give to someone who's just starting? Things you've learned in the past, things I don't know, you've tried, gone wrong. What's where your basically failures, where you failed and you've learned a lesson about it, that type of thing.
Well, I still feel I'm still, I guess, a pretty new streamer, pretty small streamer.
Oh no, you're not. Stop lying.
No, I would consider myself a small streamer. I'm getting there. It's something that seeing the gradual improvement in people interacting and the conversations that we have in chat is so brilliant to see. But what advice? Something that I've found has made a big difference is, and that I think is underappreciated. I've spoken with Werther's an awful lot about it. This way your stream sounds. When I think about when I go into somebody's stream, and the ones that I stay in are the ones that the levels are right. You can hear the person that's streaming clearly. If they have a face cam, also great. But the sound, I haven't spent tons. I was given a Blue Yeti for my birthday, which I use every day now, pretty much. And having that sound, I've got audio software called VB audio cables and voice meter, which it creates virtual audio cables on my computer, so I can be interacting in somebody's stream and hearing it in my headset, but my stream don't hear it. It's also been very helpful. I now have like a 2 PC setup, which has been interesting because I implemented it very quickly and unexpectedly when Horizon Zero Dawn was crashing, and I thought it was having issues because there was a stream running as well, and whole other issue. But it's also helped duplicate audio sources and that kind of thing. But the way the stream sounds, and I feel like it's underrated, but I feel like it's so important. But listening to your VODs and all of that type of thing, and creating that experience that is pleasant to be a part of. Things that went wrong. Earlier this week, 2 PC setup, I had some interesting ground looping coming from pulling the audio from one PC into the other. And it was really noticeable even in my viewer numbers, because the viewer numbers for that day were significantly lower than the next day when I fixed it. But listening to my VOD is how I found out what was there, because I wanted to check what levels sounded like. But so to me, it always comes back, listen to your VOD, go and watch it, look at other people's streams and see what they do that you like, and do it yourself.
I think that is a really, really great piece of advice. Everyone should definitely check out the VOD video after the stream. Check, guys, how you sound, how the volume levels are set. And we've asked those questions on so many podcasts. And I think everyone's pretty much the same. We all agree on the same thing. Audio is pretty much the most important factor when it comes to streaming. You can have no cam, okay? Because that obviously it helps a little bit if you have it, but it's not a major factor. Liv will probably agree with it. Audio, on the other hand, is important. Is important. Like when I go to different streamers and I see them streaming and playing with with their fire team or their friends, usually I'd say 8 times out of 10 their friends are louder than they are in the stream. So I think it's wrong, right? You know what I'm saying, Liv, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've definitely messaged people that are my friends that stream to say, and it's because it's best that they know if there's anything ever wrong in my stream, if it sounds crap, if there's something wrong visually, tell me, and I will endeavor to fix it, because I want to create, the reason I stream is to create a good experience, a good atmosphere for people, and things like that, technical issues, take away from it, and if I can fix it and make the atmosphere better, that's the best thing I can do.
Absolutely. Always tell the streamer that it's something wrong. But before you do, I suggest double check on your end. Because if you're like watching on on a mobile phone and you have a feeling that something's wrong, but then when you go to the desktop PC and it's not, just basically what I'm saying is double check.
Always refresh first.
Yeah, always refresh first. Double check. Make sure it is wrong before you say anything. But if it is wrong, please, begging you guys, don't be silent about it. Just say it in chat. No one's gonna crucify you. Just say in chat, and I'm sure streamer will be grateful for you. Saying those things to him, because they learn where they can improve. And they can obviously fix the audio, fix the camera, or anything else, right? Obviously, backseat gaming. We're not talking about that. Some Twitch.
Yes, I think backseat gaming has its place if it's wanted.
Yes.
Only if it's wanted.
Yes, it does. Streamer needs to agree to it. Like, I'm doing it every time. Let's be honest. I'm shit playing games. I'm seeking for help. So yeah, tell me what to do. Basically, that type of thing. Yeah.
Chicken was guiding me through how to find some quest items that I'd completely missed one of them, and he was talking me through how to get them, and that would be considered backseat gaming. But it wasn't about the story. It wasn't you should do this differently. You should do that. It's like, I want to do this. Please help.
Yeah, which is
I've definitely
fine.
had a lot of that. Helpful tips in combat and that kind of thing. Things that I haven't realised are very valuable. But that's me personally, and it's definitely not the same for everybody.
Chicken from the Jurassic. I freaking love you. Thank you for helping Liv so much. I appreciate you.
I appreciate it too.
It's gotta be done, you know. And the next question it pops from the chat is actually from the chicken. Cat or dog?
Cats or dog? Probably dogs. Because I'm not a big fan of like keeping animals. It's they're well too much work. And I feel like I'd completely neglect them. I don't have time. But dogs, sheepdogs, dogs are useful. There was a lot of in the village I used to live in back home with my mum. There was a lot of dogs around that were guide dogs and hearing dogs, because there was a lot of families that would foster the puppies and that would help train them. So to me, dogs, particularly in that sense, they can make such a difference to people's lives in a positive way, in helping people get around and helping people overcome disabilities and that type of thing. I feel like there was so much more purpose to them than cats. Cats are lovely, they're soft, they're scratchy. I've definitely had some interesting cat scratches. I do quite a good cat impression.
I can imagine.
But never mind. That's beside the point. I can't do a very good impression of a dog, unfortunately, even though I like dogs more.
It's okay. It's okay. I think it's perfectly covered. Another one comes from Shadow Boy 1121. I've been on Twitch for quite some time and streaming, but you got any tips to move forward?
Well, I think interact with people, create an environment that people want to come to. Make sure you've got the technical things right, and I'm assuming if you've been on Twitch for a while, you've got an overlay and that kind of thing, alerts and graphics. I mean, I recently redid mine, and I'm much happier with what I have now than what I had before. But interact with people, be yourself, be honest, and enjoy it. And if you're not enjoying it, people will know. If you're not enjoying it, what's the point?
Exactly. And I'm just gonna say this really quick. Don't be fake on Twitch. If you stream on Twitch, please guys, do it for yourself. Do it because you enjoy to do it. Do it because you like the interaction, you like to hang out with people. Don't do it just because of the money, okay? A little bit piece of advice from myself. There's so many things I want to touch on, but you know what? I barely scratched the list I had, and there's so many questions in the chat. What is going on right now? Crazy. Before we gonna go into the next question, because we kind of like running out with time, but I do want to ask you this, Liv. Always gonna ask, and I always will. What you think about the Team Ahamkara, and why have you decided to join?
Well, obviously a big influence for me was my other half, who is Werther's91. He's now one of the admins. He wasn't when I joined.
Wait, who's Werther's?
Well, I've no idea. He only I only live with him, so I really don't know. But I joined because of the support that I saw between the different members, and having those people to ask advice. I've asked plenty of advice to the other members of the stream team, those that have different perspectives, more experience, even often less experience, but see things with fresh eyes. Getting that advice has been so valued. The support of everybody, having a group of people that are in the same boat as you to interact with, and the positivity that brings is amazing to be a part of.
I think that's fair. I think that's really fair. What in general you would have given advice as someone who would have joined, or who's just about to join a team? Would you like? What would you tell him? What the team is all about? Obviously, there's different meanings to the team. There's different teams out there, and that. Right, but if someone's new to the Twitch and was going, to think about the teams, what advice would you give him?
Get to know the people in it. Get to know them by playing with them, by hanging out in their chats, but get to know the people that are in the team, no matter what team it is. But to me, it's all about the people in it.
Agreed. Definitely agreed. I just, I always wanted to ask this question because I'm seeing a lot of people who wants to apply for the team, not realizing what the team actually means. I'm not even going to thinking, like what the team is all about. But basically, what does it mean to be the part of a team? What the team stands for? And as I said, there's different teams out there. Every team's got their own, perspectives on what they're gonna do with it and whatnot. But guys, no matter what, it is not just a name. Okay, it's not just something to slap on your on your page. You agree, Liv? Yeah, I hope you do.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's the hashtag #KaraFam. It's there for a reason.
It's gotta be done. Right. More questions there, but we're gonna go a little bit into the chat. Solar Riot is there. I'm seeing you, buddy. Amazing streamer.
I like this question.
Yeah, amazing streamer again. What's been the biggest positive personal change you've made since you've started streaming?
I think there's two for me. I'm dyslexic, and I've always struggled with my reading speed. And I've actually found since I was never very good at skim reading stuff, quickly reading things and absorbing the information. And from like a technical perspective, that's the biggest thing for me. It's the improvement in that. It sounds like such a little thing. Many people may not be able to relate, but that improvement in reading speed, and not necessarily reading speed, but skimming speed, has been really, really helpful. Being able to pick out the important information. But from a personal level, the confidence and being able to I'm not doing a very good job of it now because I've completely forgotten the word I was looking for.
Oh, you're doing a fantastic job.
Verbally much better as well. And talking to people and socializing, and I've become much more social in this way, in an interaction over video and over text since I started streaming, which has been wonderful because everybody lives so damn far away.
Yeah, I agree. Which brings us to the next question, which is absolutely perfect for this. Zen and Dom, thank you again. Perfect question. Just to follow up, not sure how if the lockdown is affecting your area, but right, what are you looking forward to doing when things return to normal?
Being able to go and see my mom. Well, I actually know. Ironically, so how is lockdown affecting my area? Well, I've been furloughed I was furloughed for 3 months. I work in aviation. Aviation is obviously one of the worst hit sectors, along with hospitality and that side of thing and travel. But it links in so heavily with the travel. I'm fortunate. I do still have my job, and I have security in that until the end of next year. Very fortunately, but I was furloughed for 3 months, and I won't be going back into the office until at least the end of this month. But it hasn't all been bad. We have the freedom to work from home. We're much more trusted in that sense. We're very much, as an apprentice, I'm very much more part of the team that I'm in now. I'm doing work that is important for the business, not as a nice to have for the business. But I guess the effect has been more social for me. In some ways it's worked out really well. I've got to come and live with Werther's. Usually I live in Bristol and he lives in the north, and we're about 3 hours apart, which is not ideal. It's not like 2 countries apart. It's only 3 hours. You can jump in the car and get there in 3 hours. But I'm most looking forward to being able to go and see my friends and to see family. And I was supposed to be going to Ireland to see my family over there this summer, and I wasn't able to. And I don't get to go out there all that often, and I wish I did. But unfortunately, I can still see my mother because we have a bubble with her. But currently, we can't see Wilder's family because of where we live, which is frustrating. But I also want to go home and see my friends from school and that I play with. But fortunately, I've been communicating this way through video and audio with them. I've watched musicals with one of my friends. I've had a drinks afternoon with others. I play Halo on a Tuesday night on stream with a group of them from back home, which is great to reconnect with people. But I would love to be able to go up to them and give them a hug. I want to return to hugs.
Perfect. Liv, oh my god. Like, seriously, I love you for saying things like this. It is really difficult in the UK and probably anywhere else, you know, around the world. We are going through difficult decisions, difficult times, you know, COVID. Think it's there, right? We just got to be careful. I wish everyone stays safe, guys. Be safe. Stay safe. Yeah. Stay safe. Shears is saying Worth is 91 no longer has a man cave.
Oh, it's well, I think I'd be more likely the one to have a man cave than Warders, actually.
Let's go. Let's go.
I'll definitely be the one with the garage or the shed or whatever whatever place we can have with all the tools.
That's a way forward. That's a way forward.
So a man cave doesn't have to be for the male gender.
No. Right. So basically, I don't know why it's called a man cave. Can we just call it like a gaming cave?
Man as in the species. As we are man. Women are a man.
Right. So this been out there for quite a while, right? Because like man this, man that. Women's been really smart and really helpful and helping around, you know, things like man wouldn't have a clue about. I'm just saying, okay, it is not about man. I don't know why the things are called man this and man that. It just should be called a gaming cave. Simple as that, right?
I don't like the word man is different to the word men or like it isn't man the humans the
kind of is.
Man came along and I don't see it as the gender. I see it as humans. But maybe that's just me being.
You're just trying to stay positive. I know you're trying to stay positive, and that's what it is, and that's why I appreciate you.
You gotta see things in a positive light, or you'll just be sad all the time, right?
Yeah, exactly. You got to make the most out of it, right? So there's a question from the chicken again. Chicken, love you. Will you play Horizon Zero Dawn on ultra hard difficulty?
Yes.
Will you? Yes.
I am planning on doing it when I've got my new graphics card and I have a bit of time. And I'm planning on whacking up the settings and absolutely loving it. Hopefully all the crashes will have been patched by then and I'll get to experience the game at a whole new level again, which will be absolutely amazing. So yes, but not yet.
My gosh, what have I started? I don't know. What? You definitely started something. Right, before we're gonna finish, because we already passed our time, but it was such a fun hanging out with Liv.
Sorry.
In there, yeah.
We started late. It's fine. We started late, which is also my fault. Yeah. Still, I'm always checking the time. Always trying to be this podcast for like an hour. And considering we took the 20 minutes prep, and right now I'm so sorry. Nothing was working. I couldn't get my camera to work. I couldn't get my audio to work.
It's always the way. But anyway, we an hour 24 minutes into it. So that means this makes the podcast an hour. So I'm gonna go to the end questions, and there, guys. If you do have some more questions in chat, they will definitely gonna be answered. Okay, I'm just not gonna end the stream because of the time. If you do want to ask some more questions, ask them in chat. I do want to know this, Liv. Okay. What is the one fun fact about you that people might not know?
I thought of a couple of these, and I've actually already said them.
Yeah, I think you
I'm
did.
lost
Like
now.
you surprised me with the aerodynamics or aerospace things. So I don't know what to tell you. I mean, you need to tell us things. I can tell you, chat. I can tell you things I know about Liv. Things I wish you would have tell us. Like why you design, like why you such an awesome person, why you design such a cool bot. Chat, she works on a lot of bots.
Yes.
Like she can design the bots out of her thinking.
I'm actually working on a bot for this channel at the moment, with a custom set of permissions, so that Team Ahamkara members can do certain things within chat. But unfortunately, that means that you need an extra permission tier that's not moderator and that's not like regular subscriber or anything. So I'm trying to get that figured out. But I host my bot, Liv's bot, which you'll often interact with in chat and likes to try and blow up the world. Unfortunately, she needs some calming down, maturing to do. Going through like teenage hormones. That's how I've got it figured. Bot teenage hormones. But I also host Rogue9 bot for the Rogue9 server, which does role assignment, all of our go live posts. It has several tiers of streamers, so we can promote Rogue9 members that stream, but also people that we interact with. All of the members of Team Ahamkara promoted in there if they're in there, and that type of thing. But and developing things. The bot I use is called Phantom Bot. I wrote the code for the channel points integration for the bot, so that as people in my chat love to do, is rain feathers on everybody. Feathers is my currency within the bot. But that's now in the main Phantom Bot code. But I have some changes of my own that allows me to do extra functionality and make commands do what I want. But it's not as hard as everybody thinks. And coding is something that's very, very accessible to everybody. I've actually been doing a very basic computer science course recently called CS50. It's run by Harvard University, but is made available through a website called edX. You can do it for free, and it's something that USB from one of my mods suggested to me. It's really, really, really good. It takes you right through from like the basic fundamentals. The thing I found I didn't know about coding was the really basic principles and how things came about and why things work the way they do, so you can do things the right way. And it's been really helpful. But it's accessible to anybody. You don't need any background in coding and computer science in anything. And it's something that so many people are going to need. There's going to be so many jobs, and there's such a shortage in the future, and it's such a great way for people to learn a new skill. Sorry, I went on a engineering rant again.
No, absolutely. You see, this is the fun fact about you. This is the question I want to ask all along. Basically, when we chatted in the DMs, and I said, I have some interesting questions I do want to ask. These are the ones. So obviously, with us human race going forward, we don't know, right? Honestly, we don't know what's ahead of us. It was the Armageddon, or
hopefully it won't turn out like the ending of like Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah, hopefully. Let's
I'm
let's
saying
pray
no
for
more, but hopefully it doesn't.
let's pray for it. Obviously, there is a lot of AI being developed right now, right? And as soon as, I mean, I don't know you guys like what you thinking about, but as soon as I think an AI, I'm just start thinking fucking Skynet. I don't know if you know what that means. Some of you might not know. Yeah. But I think me and Liv will agree on it, maybe a little bit. I think, right, going forward is definitely what we need to do. But technology is moving so fast. It's just really rapid development right now. Like, if
I
you
mean,
think,
even the ways of developing are changing and rapidly moving, which is
yeah, but
interesting.
when you think
And
like,
aviation is like 10 years behind, as always.
yeah, when you think like where we've been, 50 years prior to this and where we are now, how fast the world is moving. If you start thinking about this, basically what I'm trying to say is when human race is not gonna start being, cautious, maybe, I don't know, this might end up um, in the wrong place. I don't know.
I mean, I'm hoping we can learn our lessons from theoretical movies.
Yes, definitely. Whatever the outcome is gonna be, I think we're gonna be pleased.
Yeah, but
But
I mean, even it's not AI per se, but even those limited in. I was, I went to a webinar the other day. I did like a really
tell
random
us.
day of 2 streams, and it was about aging and AI, and it wasn't quite as interesting as I hoped. It focused a lot more on the medical side, which is not my area of expertise, but the interaction between AI and how it can have such a positive effect on people's lives, even now in its very, very basic form, is fascinating. And being able to create something for a specific purpose that can learn, that can comfort somebody that's old, that has dementia in a way that's so valuable to them. There's this seal, like a big fluffy seal that has an element of, I'm going to say, AI in it. Probably not quite the right term, but it's there to comfort people and to provide companionship. But it
I
also
think it
helps
would
to look
be.
after them.
I think it would be,
And
and you
that are
you're
amazing.
definitely on the right path. I think we do need to step into, right direction. I think people feared going into the AI, field, being scared of the Terminator films. I think so. We do need to go in there and discover things for ourselves, definitely. But I think we just need to be cautious when we're doing those things. And as Liv just mentioned, there's so much advantage of doing things like this for the health public. It's just huge. It's just huge.
I mean, even think like there's a lot of controversy over driverless cars
Yes,
because I could talk about the technical issues from what I see from the aviation world in them, but eventually a driverless car is going to kill someone. But where do you put that line between is that okay because they're killing less people than people are? Where do you
No.
draw that line? And how do you define it?
Yeah,
And it's
so
such an
this is
interesting
hard.
debate that's not about the technology at all. It's about the ethics.
Yeah,
And so much of
it's
this
hard.
then does, like talking about from movies, comes down to ethics, not to the technology.
This
There
is
is some
hard.
development issues with
Really hard.
driverless cars and that type of thing, and the way that software is developed. But they're definitely working on it. It's improving. But eventually, you got to make that decision.
It's
How
like
does the car make that decision?
it's like talking really about how safe our planes are, right? It's basically the same type of thing. Like how often?
This is always an interesting discussion.
Yeah. This is always interesting. There's always going to be haters. There's always going to be opposition,
Planes are designed, or I'm not going to say designed.
and whatnot.
Planes are designed to a level of safety. 10 times 10 to the -9, there will not be a failure that causes any kind of catastrophic event. Which means, in every 10 to the -9 landings or flight hours, something will go wrong that could cause a catastrophic failure. So
Yeah.
eventually a plane is going to crash, and it's going to been designed absolutely perfectly. No, I'm not talking about the Boeing 737 MAX. There is a major design flaw that should not be there in that one. In aviation, you cannot have a single point of failure that causes a catastrophic event, or that has the potential to lead to a catastrophic event. So there was an issue with the design process that they went through in the 737 MAX. But eventually, there won't be a flaw in the design process, and it will have been designed exactly to specification. An aircraft will crash, theoretically. But so far, it's not happened, and we've definitely gone over the odds. But that's all to do with maintenance at that point.
Oh, Liv, I love you for it. This is perfect. You see, these are all my questions answered, pretty much. And that debate is fantastic, guys, because it's not about really.
Yeah, they do.
It's not about. It's not about
Balances.
the AI. It's more about what is gonna do good versus bad. Like how many people normally driving cars or normally, I'm not gonna go into place. Well, how many how many people driving cars by themselves
It's how,
manually
and then how do you
will
measure
crash,
the statistics
Yeah.
as well. Statistics is
exactly.
another interesting point of debate, is that you could make,
Statistics,
if
yeah.
you look at statistics a certain way, aviation is less safe than driving a car. If you look at the statistics the other way, aviation is more safe.
So basically,
It all depends on how you interpret the numbers.
yeah, just
Nothing in
to
statistics is
just
true.
to make it short about all this, it's always a huge debate to have. You will never be safe. You'll never be safe. I personally think you'll be safer with the AI. Again, statistics might prove otherwise. The way they measured, might be wrong. I don't know. Always down to the statistics anyway. But as I'm saying, you might be better off with one option or another. Until it's being absolutely proved, you can't really chat shit about it. That this is bad and this is wrong. So many people died there. So many people died. That was something else. It's a very hard subject to talk about. Really.
Yeah, we got very technical and deep very quickly.
Yeah. Yeah. But hey, I did told you we are not going to talk about certain things.
No, I'm happy to talk about Destiny, but it's
No.
Might be useful there. Everything's buffering. Okay, it's fine.
Everything-
It's fine. I thought
everything-
my internet had died again.
Everything is baffling, chat. This is about you getting to know of our amazing streamer, amazing spotlight of the week this week, MzLiv. Make sure you're gonna drop her a follow. Twitter, Twitch. You see the links on the screen, and right now you will see the links in the chat. Click away, drop her a follow. Amazing human being, love birds, being a designer, and so many fucking different kinds. Definitely go follow.
I have a small
okay?
army of birds now.
Small army of birds. There you go. Another question. Are you going to grind source this gear? Destiny
yes,
question.
On my hunter.
On your hunter. Why
I'm
hunter?
probably not going to do the other characters.
Why hunter? You like hunters so much?
I love my hunter. My hunter was the first character I ever made, and it will always be my favorite. I love the way it moves. It makes more sense to me. It's so agile.
Perfect. As always. Wow, so many different questions. John, we're gonna wrap it up there. I'm not gonna ask Liv any more of these, and this you can screenshot this. There's plenty. I've probably only scratched 4 or 5 out of these, because you've been amazing in chat. Okay, you've been amazing. You've been popping your questions, which is fantastic, and I've got answers to mine. There's some funny questions I had, you can actually answer this before we're gonna finish. You can answer this. Thoughts about the pineapple on pizza?
I love pineapple on pizza.
Oh my god, there's another one. No way.
Yes.
No way. You cheating.
Yes.
You cheating right now.
Completely happy accident. I was ordering pizza tonight and I didn't get time to finish it before the podcast started.
Crazy. Wow. I don't know what to say to that. But we all different.
I had actual pizza.
We all different. Right? I would eat.
I'm the one with the
pineapple on
pizza, therefore I must be right.
Yes. You eat what you like. Okay. And I'm always gonna say this to everyone: we
Yeah,
will
for sure.
probably always disagree on what to order, okay? But once the order is in, once you got it in the house, you gotta eat it. You gotta eat it because it smells nice, you know. So, chat, thank you very much for tuning in, MzLiv. Thank you so much for taking
Thank you
your
very much for
time.
having me.
Yeah, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy day, having, you know, basically just being there, yeah, being awesome, telling us a little bit about yourself. Hope you guys liked it. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna rate another member of a team, a new member, a member you're gonna like, someone who I think MzLiv would like, Phoenix Inferno.
Oh, I love Phoenix. She's
Yes.
great.
Yes,
We've had long discussions about strats at Gauntlet and Leviathan.
yeah, she's amazing. So we're gonna go and drop a rate on Phoenix. Make sure you're gonna drop a follow, chat. Say hello. You came, you know, from the Team Ahamkara page.
Do we have
Just-
a raid thing, spam?
I don't think we have.
We need a Team Ahamkara raid.
Yeah, I haven't set it up. I do apologize. I haven't set that up. But right before we're gonna leave, there's one thing I do want to ask you, chat. If you don't know, and this is probably a far off question, because by now you should know, MzLiv. Please drop a follow on both Twitter and Twitch. Amazing content creator. Probably one of my favorite because she does Assassin's Creed, which I love. Okay. So definitely go and follow. And we're gonna go ahead and rate Phoenix Inferno. Hope you guys enjoyed this. There's more to come next Friday, same time, someone else. Feel free to tune in, you know, if you like it. And for now, let's go and rate Phoenix. Liv, thank you very much again for your time, for tuning into this and telling us a little bit about yourself. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. I hope it was interesting and people enjoyed it. I guess that's the reason we're doing it.
I mean, I've enjoyed it. I hope the chat
I've
did.
enjoyed it too.
I hope the chat did. I love
really
you guys.
enjoyed it.
I love you guys. Hope to see you soon on the same channel. Same day, same time, different date. See you soon. Let's go over.